Hello everybody, today is Monday, it's 3:30 a.m. I call it already Monday, it's Sunday night. I think that is when it's early Monday. I do look a bit bad. I think my skin got very bad over the last few days. So I'm a bit better. I'm very happy about that. Because I felt so bad on Friday. And that triggered all the times when I had to lie down, because I only could lie down pretty much. I got up for eating and the toilet. I was very sick, very weak. It feels like when you have the flu, those days when you're not on high fever, but when you're just all in all very weak. So I got a bit scared because I read a lot or saw a lot about ME/CFS lately. And it can happen that when you overdo yourself and you get a crash like that, that you get stuck in a lower level. And I was very scared of that. And usually I don't like being sick, but I always think I get better. And this time it was so bad, and it hasn't been this bad for a long time. So I was worried that I get stuck on a lower level. So I lay down the first day. I also lay down the second day, Saturday. But I got up to do some dishes because that started stressing me. I was just about to reclaim my life somehow. I did finish my bags. That was something I wanted to do for a long time. And now I wanted to focus on card making. Also, I got better. I could do more. Oh, on the other hand, I sit a lot. But compared to now, I was way better. And it felt like I am reclaiming my life a bit. And always when that's about to happen, I get a crash. I get something and then that's just taken away again. And that is very hard to take. I was working 7 years or 8 years towards getting better. And before that, I was already working 7 years towards getting better, being better briefly, going back to working training, and then just collapsing again. So that is not good. And this time I got really stuck, and I am worried that I have to lie down for a year or two again before it gets better. And I cannot take it anymore. I just cannot take it anymore. It's unbearable. And yeah, sometimes you have to, you survive it, you get through it, so you could bear it, but it's unbearable, but you have to get through. Okay, but anyway, I did decide that I need to get up even though I don't feel so good. So it's important to rest at the beginning when you have a crash. But then you also need to get up again, because when you lie down, it also gets worse. So it's horrible, this situation. And I got more up today, and then I was always worried that it's too much and I make it worse. So now I try to sleep, but I cannot sleep. That was just a very short Zusammenfassung, resume of what happened. And also my crash happened through many factors. Okay, and what I want to do is I made my Let the Dice Decide dice new. They're bigger now. And I actually want to make a card with that. I want to make more. I'm very sick. I'm unbelievably sick. But I'm trying to pay attention to not do too much, but also not do too little. So I want to throw the dice. So it has been a while since I did that. I don't know, 2-3 years. So I have four dice. I don't know, is it 1 die, 2 dice? With all my craft brands, stamp brands. And they help me to decide which ones I want to use. Then I have one for the theme of the card, one for the background of the card. Then I have this cube, which decides if it's interactive or not. This 3 times interactive, and then it's fun folds and 1 layer and a mug. And if it's interactive, then it goes to those 2, which is all different interactive things. And this is also a decision helper. So first, I'm gonna throw the brand. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I have those, and then I throw my color die. It's blue, so it's either Marianne Design or Paperie Ink, and SF Stamps and Time for Tea falls out. Now I say this one is blue, and this one's green. Now it is green. It is Paperie Ink. And it's always fun when I do that. It's not what I would really choose. Okay, now the background is ink blending. I haven't done that in a while. Then I have the topic. That is either a thank you or a get well. Maybe I make a get well card. I never do that because whatever. Now I have what it's gonna be. It's gonna be interactive. And that is those two. So I got either shaker or tada diorama. So this is blue. Ah, it's blue. A shaker. So I will make a shaker card with get better soon or thank you. With an ink blended background and Paperie Ink stamps. I don't have too many of those, so I can show them to you. Oh, I should keep my selection. So this is a safari set, summer vibes, chameleons. They're adorable. The funny seagulls, another beach thingy. Keep calm and shine on. Then I have this one, but I think I'm going with this one. There's just keep swimming. That is also when you have to plow through something. And with ink blending, I can make a nice background, and the shaker works well too. So, gonna be that. And now the voiceover starts. Not all the way, because I want to do some ASMR parts too, because then I don't have to do so much. And it might be interesting. So here I'm ink oxide blending. This is Salty Ocean, and this is Mermaid Lagoon. And then there's also Peacock Feathers. Those are great colors. They're all very lovely. Sometimes I think that the Peacock Feathers and the Mermaid Lagoon doesn't fit so well, but it turns out fine. And then I add some water spots, which is great for an underwater scene. So a lot of water bubbles. There you see it just bleached the paper a bit. And to finish it off, I need speckles. So when you have I don't think this background is ugly, but sometimes when you have an ugly background, you can actually fix it with a ton of speckles. And I thought I might try to do it ASMR. I didn't think that when I was filming it, but I did have my earphones in, so there's no background music, background noises. And I could just let that go, let lopen laten, that would be in Dutch. Just, I don't know. I would just leave it as is, as an experiment, and we'll see if you like that or not. It is quite slow, but just maybe some more background to that. I have noticed when I watch card making videos, I get a bit annoyed when it's cut together or ASMR because it's kind of stressful and we all need to slow down a bit. So I'm doing that with this video. And this was my new powder tool, which I nearly unscrewed on the wrong side, and then I would have had all the powder over my card. It's lovely. It's from Simon Says Step. Okay, so I'm gonna do the embossing with Versamark and white embossing powder. And now I just leave you to the ASMR. Well, I'm popping in again because I think it's a bit boring to just watch this. And now, when I have the layout already, I don't want to have to think about it again. So now I wonder how I should put those layers on without moving my critters. But I have to move my critters. So I'll move them. It's not that hard. And then I glue on the behind layer. I never know if I want to tuck something behind the layer. And then I would not put glue all around, but this one I would just want to have flat against the card base. And with the other one, I am checking first if I need to keep a little wiggle room to tuck something behind. Okay, so here's that one. Now I need to figure out where I want to put them. And for me, decorating the card is the hardest part. I find it super hard. The arrangement of the thing, that everything looks right. And I don't have any rules in my head, like I need something in the focal point and something there. I just put it somewhere and see if I like it. And if not, then I have to move it again. And here, that bottle, I wanted to have behind that grassy layer, behind that sand layer border. So I have to put it down first. Also, I did actually put some more paper on the back of this bottle, and I thought maybe it's going to be a shaker element. But I was still worried it would flip over, even though that's very hard to do. So it would have been cool. Maybe next time I make a few bottles that would be shaker elements. So that's just a thought. But then I put it down. And now the last one. I also thought when I put it on the layer, and okay, not at the piggy yet. So this layer I can stick down. I don't want anything tucked behind that. So I can just fully adhere it. And this glass where I put lime is the word in German. The glue in is very cool because there's a spilled out glue on the bottom of that glass, and it acts as a, it lets the air not get into the bottle. So yeah, it stays, it doesn't clog. And then I thought about that piggy, and what it's cool in shaker cards is, sorry, maybe that's why I also do ASMR from now on a bit, because voiceovers are very hard. Because you need to narrate in the moment and to something specific. It's not just talking freely. So when you put some 3D foam behind a critter or something, when you have a shaker card, then this stuff stays on top of that animal, which is kind of cool with snow shakers. Then you really have the snow building up on the critters or on the sled or something. And here I thought I might do that. Otherwise I could have just put it flat and then the shaker elements just go past it. Also, I do have it on different layers. So I have the bottom part on 2 layers of border. So I did want to even it out, but I only had the 2mm foam pads close by. So the head is now higher than the bottom part, but that's fine. And then this one could also have put something behind the seagrass that goes up because it's on the other layer. But there would have been very small bits, and that was not worth the effort. So just stick it down and it goes downward there. So just have to push it a bit so it really adheres. And then there's the sea stars left, and that is not that interesting. So I cut that part out. Yeah, I didn't edit it all beforehand because now that I think I could do some stuff ASMR and some stuff not, I really didn't know where to cut. Normally I speed things up, but also I realized when I watch sped up things, even my own, it's a bit annoying. It's unnerving somehow. It stirs you, not in a good way, in a stressed way. I mean, you see it quicker, but sometimes there's also sounds on it, and certain sounds are still fine with sped up, but certain ones aren't. So it's just a bit, there's danger to be annoying when you speed up stuff, even though sometimes I like it. Okay, then that border was still overlapping. And now we get to the shaker part. I wanted to make an infinity shaker, and I have old packaging here. It has very many wrinkles in there, but I thought it's just gonna be fine. Those are my shaker elements. I have them from all over. At the beginning of my card making career, it's not a career, my card making thingy, I got all the glitter and shaker bits that I could, and now I have a whole box full of it, and I don't need any more. But the Nouveau stuff is very pretty, but also very expensive. So those small bottles there are Nouveau, whatever. So there's the wrinkle. I observe it again, and then this is also a double. This is a whole pocket acetate thingy, plastic, and I could have just cut it apart first. Then I would only have one that I need, one piece of plastic, but I was too lazy to do that, so I just cut it through both layers, and then I will cut those 2 layers apart. So an infinity shaker is very, very cool because you don't have any borders around, and because then it really looks like infinitely. So that's very good to have left the, I'm cutting it apart. I hope you enjoy my voiceover. I'm sorry. Okay, here I cut it apart. And now I've forgotten what I wanted to say. So for an infinity shaker, a bit thinner plastic is very good. You can also use that plastic from leftover packagings for slider cards, double sliders. That's very handy. When you make another shaker card, you mostly use thicker acetate when you make a frame and make height with foam, or a window that peeks into the shaker parts. Then you use thicker plastic. Here I thought, where do I want to have my wrinkles? And I thought there on the left there's a little bit of a empty spot, so I want to have my wrinkles there. And I'm using my powder tool again because I want to get rid of the static, because when you have glitter, the glitter sticks to static, and I didn't want to have that. I think at some point I also put some on the plastic, because it can be that when you make a shaker card that all the glitter sticks to the plastic and then you don't even see into the shaker. Okay, and here I go. I am over adhering everything way too much, but that included less thinking, and therefore I was fine with that. I'm putting score tape around the edges because I want to fold over the plastic and adhere it on the back. And then I center my card on that plastic, and I start with the bottom part to just take off the score tape, the release paper from the score tape, and then I just fold over that bottom flap. This is the easiest one. Now I have a card base with rounded corners, and I don't want my plastic to stick out there. I want an infinity shaker where you don't even see the card base, basically. Here I add more score tape to the parts that have no score tape on it now, because I want it also to be very secure. And then I fold over, I take off more release paper. That's again behind my thingy in my recording thing, and I don't see what I'm doing. But then I'm folding over the corner so that, and also I realize I need to pull it tight a bit. I don't want any wrinkles or something. I just want it to be very, very snug with my card base. And that is what I'm doing there. And now I just leave a little ASMR. And the score tape I'm adding now is to just put the plastic more down, because there isn't score tape all over the places where it should be. Because when I folded it over, I took the score tape and didn't add more on it. But it's also for adhering it on the card. And this is way overkill. This is so much, too much score tape. But I do like stuff to be very secure. And this is really secure. So I sped it up a bit just for the feel. I don't know if you feel the hectic now. I add a little glue for the wiggle room because it's very hard to aim at first chance. Yeah, I am missing some words and stuff, so it doesn't come easy at the moment. So, and then I did make a top fold card because you can easily display it. Now my table is very slippery. If it were on a tablecloth, it would be a bit better. So that is that. And now I'm making an envelope. I thought maybe I'll leave it in entirely and slowly without narration, but maybe I do narration. So I start with measuring a bit of my card, then the whole card, because that is the part where the card is in, and the rest there on the right is the flap that goes over. And now I need to test if I have enough paper, and this is too small. There was 1/8 of an inch overlapping, so that I could make it longer, the flap, but I didn't want to. So I just thought I'd make another one. And I'll measure it first if this card fits in. It fits twice, and then there's about 1/2 inch left. So I need to be very precise now with my scoring. Again, I took a part of the card, and now I want to do the next score line very, very close to the card, not much bigger than it is, because we need all I have for the flap. Normally I do another score line with the flap to make a nice finish, but now I needed that to overlap the base, so I can close my envelope. And then I need to score the sides. My paper is 21 centimeters, and I see I can do 3 and 3 on each side, so I score at 3 and at 18. It is a bit bigger than the card, but that's okay because it's not. It doesn't have any give in another way. in the height, so it has a little give on the sides. Now I cut off the part when you open an envelope, and this is the part that covers the card. You can see the card stick out, and this is kind of the front there. I did have other words, so I need to cut those off. I also like it when those corners are rounded. And then there's some more preparation. Here I need to cut those apart. This is, you have that when you open the card, again, that's facing you. That's why I want a nice rounding. And this part where, the left part here, is just decoration. It's not needed, but I use it anyway. It makes the envelope a bit nicer. And I only do rounds from one side, so I had to turn it around. So I can do it from both sides, but one doesn't turn out nice. Now I fold them all. Okay, and I split it up again, and I think you see what I'm doing, so I don't have to narrate it. So here it is from another angle. I do like the mix of shaker bits. As per usual, I put a bit too much, but with those infinity shakers, you can also have them like this. Whatever. So, and up here it stands, I think, well. Okay, and you don't see the card base. That was very important for me. Yeah. Well, it's already Wednesday night by now. I did stop and go with that card, didn't do a lot else. And now I want to know if you don't mind or something. Did you like things? Do you like ASMR? Do you like it when it's sped up? Do you like the card making? I don't know. Just, did you have thoughts of things? If you would like to say it. I just wonder. So thank you very much. Because I might go on like that a bit. Less about my life and more about card making. It's a bit easier. So, not all the time though. But I'm a bit weird at the moment, so I don't want to be on camera that much. So I do card making. And all the things. I want to make little pom-pom birds. Pom-pom. So, thank you very much for watching. And see you in the next one.